Alright guys, welcome back. Okay, so I went to locals last night and I managed to pick up the entirety of the deck. I wanted to try something that I thought was like, oh, it's freaking crazy, but apparently it doesn't work that way. Okay, so for those of you that are familiar with the layer darkness, right? It's basically make everything on the field dark, and if you were to tribute something, you can tribute your opponent's monster or a dark monster instead, or like a dark monster. If you go to the tribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you can tribute one dark monster your opponent controls. Yeah, so it makes everything dark and it allows you to like tribute your opponent's monsters. And I was like, okay, that's so good. Then I could just like keep tributing their monsters and then, you know, infinite negation. But apparently something about the ruling where it specifies itself, so you can't do that. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I just went with it. I was like, okay, that's pretty bad then. Okay, so if you saw the discussion, I was talking about the deck itself, right? And I went ahead and built the psy-frame, variant, because I feel like it's the most, I guess, consistent to where it's just interaction, and it's what you want. It's basically what psy-frames kind of lack. Like psy-frames will interact, but like if you don't have anything else other than the circuit, you're just gonna lose, and they could just like not do anything, and then you're gonna be like left with not doing anything either. So that's the only issue, but this allows for pressure, which is what I like. Okay, so let's go ahead with the deck profile. Okay, you have 3 Stardust Assault mode, you have 3 Assault Beast, and then new cards, Assault Sentinel, and then Psy Reflector. Okay. These are the new cards from this set, Dark Neostorm. So this adds Assault Mode Activate. This summons this. This adds either of this or any card that has Assault Mode Activate in its card's text. So it's really cool, and it reborns these guys basically. Yeah. If you haven't watched the video, go watch the video. I go more in depth of what these cards do, but I want to try to minimalize the card's actual description in this video. Okay, and then you have, of course, your psy-frames. You have your gamma, your for effect negation to in case the Ash your Assault Mode Activate, Ash this, you know. Beta, so you have some sort of defense line. So like cause Stardust leaves the field, right? So you need to leave yourself wide open. You don't want to just get OTK'd, and you need some form of I guess interaction. And there's not once per turn, which is really good. And if you have a circuit on board, you can use multiple, which is what I like. Like with one card, it gets rid of multiple, like gets rid of 2 cards, which is really, really good. Then you have Delta, which okay, so this negates effects, this negates attack and destroys the monster declared an attack. And then you have Delta negates spells. Mainly here to stop Call by the Grave, because if you use Stardust's effect, tribute its cost, and then they chain Call by the Grave, you just hella mine. Well, not really minus, like, because it's a 1-for-1 either way, but like still, you don't want that to happen. Then you have your Psy-frame Alpha. This is basically consistency. Whenever your opponent were to normal or special summon, you can special summon. All these trigger from hand, right? So you would you'll special summon this and add any Psy-frame card from your deck to your hand. So it's just basically consistency. Just add you another Psy-frame, like summon this, synchro to Zeta, or add a gamma, whatever you feel appropriate at that time, and then synchro it away and banish one of your opponent's monsters. I'll show you what it does at the end. And then of course you have 1 Threader. I'll need to show you the extra deck so this can make a little bit more sense. And then you have your drivers. Basically, that's they all do. Whenever you meet the requirements, you summon a driver from hand, deck, or graveyard, and then it resolves by negating whatever it is that you attempted to negate with either of these, right? So basically, what this one does is, if any of your cards were to be destroyed, you can discard this card from your hand and prevent that from happening. And then, aside from Tuner is special summon to your field, you can special summon from a graveyard, which is really cool. You'll see what I mean, how that's quite economically good for the deck, right? And then of course you have 3 Veiler. These are meant to be 3 Ghost Spell, because you want as many I guess you want to stop Cobalt the Grave. That's basically one of the deck's kryptonite, Cobalt the Grave, and that's what Delta and Bell would initially do. But this is good too. It's just more interaction. And then of course you have your psy-frame. Yeah, I guess I just have to make myself smaller or something. You have your psy-frame circuit terraforming because you want to see it. And once again, this is gonna be a higher, above 40 card count, because what I noticed that when it was at 40, I kept seeing this way too much, and you kind of want to spread it out, like put interaction, key card, interaction, key card, interaction, key card. Does that make sense? So you want to like filter it out, and even if you don't see this for like a few turns, it doesn't matter because you're playing either way. Because odds are you're gonna have this anyway. And then since it's just a one card sub mode, it doesn't really matter because the one card just gets you to that. So like if it runs more smoothly in that way. I feel like it just, yeah, I just felt more comfortable that way. And then you have 3 Tanky because Tanky gets you either of these, and then teleport gets you any of the side frames, and it gets you more importantly Side Reflector. Assault mode 0. Sometimes you draw this, and this is basically a Assault mode activate, except it summons it from your hand, because Assault mode activate only summons from your deck. So sometimes you draw this and you're, oh crap, you know, and yeah, that's pretty good. And of course you have your triple Cobalt the Grave to make sure the Ash does not resolve, because sometimes they might Ash your Sentinel, they might Ash your Assault mode activate, and that is brutal. Although it's not as brutal as it was before, because it's just one card to do it anyway, so it turns into a 1-for-1, so it's not as bad. And then of course you have your the only 6 traps you play are Summon Activate and psy-frame Overload. This is basically for that, to get this guy out. Psy-frame Overload is huge because it's a major interaction. It's like it banishes cards face down, which is really so good. And the fact that it has like a recursion type of thing, where if it's engraved, except the turn it was sent there, you can add a psy-frame, card. So like many of you were pointing it out when I posted the deck list on Wolfgrounds. Oh, you can play Foolish Dura Goods, just Foolish Dura Goods, and then on their turn just banish it, add a psy-frame. But I'm not sure if it's, I don't know. You could do that, but I don't know. It seems fine like this. And this is why I was talking about. This is really good in that sense. Cause so let's say, okay, I think I need to, yeah. Let me show you the setup. So it's gonna make a little bit more sense. Okay, so let's say, cause you're okay. Let me show you the extra deck. So it's like, I guess I could connect the dots even further, right? Okay, so first of all, you need for sure Omega, and for sure you need 3 Zeta, because that's gonna be your manipulator, right? Just like banish a face-up monster you're putting in your face-up attack position. So I guess they could kind of play around it, but Lynx can't go to defense, so he just banishes the Lynx basically. And then the good thing about this as well is it's a level 7, so that means if you have access to Psy Reflector, what Psy Reflector does is you can just summon your Psy Reflector, add a Sentinel for a following turn Assault mode activate, I guess, play, and then when this is in the graveyard, you can return to the extra deck and add back a psy-frame card from your deck, from your graveyard to your hand. So you can just add back the one you used to synchro with it. So that's what I really like about that. And then of course you're gonna be 3 Stardust. That's pretty weird how I'm like all about synchro and I just have 1 Stardust. I'm having trouble finding 2 more secrets because I really like the secret ones. They look really nice. But I might have to settle for the new artwork one. But I don't know. But you need to, for sure, these are the main ones you go into. Omega, 3 Zeta, 3 Stardust, and this guy. Everything else is very like, you can put whatever you want, but like as it is, these are just toolboxy. Because sometimes you just need to like, sometimes you can't target cards or like, you know, that type of stuff. So you need like these type of things to like deal with those scenarios. Okay, so this card. I really want to talk about this card. This is damn good. the one up. Okay, because your setup most likely will be like this, right? You'll have like that on field, right? You'll have that on field, right? And then you have like let's say you ended up resolving this, right? Let's say you have this, and you have either this. Let's say, well, let's just put one of each in hand, right? Just to get a clearer picture. Okay, so let's say you negate, right? And then it doesn't matter what you negate. And then you want to like let's say they go into what's his face? They call by the grave. Okay, no, call by the grave. No, negate it, right? How fun does this look? I remember this deck used to be so hated. I was like, oh my god. And then you synchro into your what's his face? Your Omega. Activate Omega, right? Banish it. Hit another card. That's so good. And then let's say they summon, right? Let's say they summon. This is your deck. They summon. You activate. Activate effect. You just want deck thin. Get the drivers out of your deck. And then since it was summon, you can add a psy-frame card, right? So you add Threader. Okay? This is why I really like it. Just a one-off for this specific play. And then since 1 and 6 makes a 7, right? And you would do this like at the right opportune moment. You don't just do it just for the Black Rose. So you go Black Rose, activate, nuke the board. And normally this would be quite contradicting because you don't want this to die. I mean, you wouldn't mind if this was the grave because you could just it recurs something either way. But you kind of want to keep it on field because sometimes you might want to like end phase banish a back row or something, and you want to keep your field spell because sometimes it might be a while to see it, and that's really important for this deck. You want to make sure you see it as fast as possible. So what you do is you activate effect, you nuke the board, right? And what this one does, right? If your cards were to be destroyed, I'm pretty sure it's destroyed, not my opponent, right? Yeah, if they were to be destroyed by card effect, you can discard this instead, and you keep them. And then you can still synchro on their turn. You see what I mean? Like, that's why I like this as a one-up. And then, when you do that, right? Let's say you do that again. Let's say you go, okay, let's go, they go attack, right? Oh, wait, activate. You deck thin again, get your driver out of your deck. Okay? And then this will trigger, this goes there, right? And then you synchro into a Zeta, right? So you destroyed one of the monsters that attacked, and then you can banish another one of the monsters, right? And then to clear your field even more, you can just banish that, whatever, right? And then you have another material for overload. So you banish this, banish a card, and then you still have this again. Does that make sense? Like that's highly interactive, and that's what I like about this deck. And once you get the psy-frame link, it's gonna be freaking amazing, man. It's so good because that means you can show monsters and still do that. So like, that's just crazy, man. That's just crazy. Go ahead and try it out, man. I'm pretty excited. I'm most likely gonna play this Saturday, but I'm not sure because I'm not sure what I gotta prepare for, what decks are gonna be played, and I'm not too sure. But that exciting. That's pretty exciting. You're getting Stardust out. Okay, it's so good. But for sure I need to get Belt. Because Call by the Grave is just too brutal. But yeah, and then I've also been thinking of like even just hiring the card count even further, and just playing more hand traps, right? Because either way, you have a bunch of psy-frames anyways. So like it's either you open up psy-frames and Ash and Impermanence and Effect Veiler, or you open up the Stardust Dragon and Ash, and no, does that make sense? It's just basically more of the same thing. Like there's two engines that just really good. Like this is basically it hinders, and the Stardust engine just applies pressure and has basically the Solomon legs. That's so good. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can hire the card count, but I'm yet to try. I think 50 just seems okay. But I still gotta test it. That's gonna be it. I don't want this video to be too long, but just a bit excited because this is amazing. And that's basically it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.